There's a hallway.
Holly.
Holly. Whoop. Look at my pretty girl.
Zach.
And we're going to talk about getting married with an ostomy. You might know that we have been engaged for a really long time.
7 years ago today. Oh, wait.
Well, that was 3-ish. We don't really know.
I thought you meant our whole relationship.
Well,
Sorry.
our whole relationship has been 7 years since we started
7
dating
years.
in Times Square on New Year's Eve. Never again. Never again.
It was... Always recommend to everyone just try it out once and then it's just don't
Never do it.
It's not worth it. Standing, that's also a fun story, just with an ostomy, trying to stand in one location for 6-7 hours at a time is not easy when all places ban you from using their restrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually good for getting married because you might not be able to easily go to the bathroom for periods of a time. But yeah, I basically had to beg a security guard and said I had medical problems and needed a bathroom. And then I think we had to convince a hotel owner or somebody. We had to convince somebody at the front desk, Dixie, come here, to let us into their bathroom. And they did. So that's how I survived Times Square. But I think, this is Dixie, I think in the future, like, get a hotel that is right over Times Square.
Or watch it on TV. TV is always a good option, or anniversary number 2 going up to,
Yeah. I wish the camera was down because my dog just flipped over in my lap. Yeah, okay, you can sit there, but don't make too much noise.
Or you can always do what our anniversary number 2 or second year anniversary option was, which was 1,000 times better, I would say. I think we both agree there, up in Niagara Falls, which was awesome time. So
I would say I wasn't a fan of that one.
A little cold. It was a little cold.
It was so much colder. We thought New York City was cold, but Canada is a little bit colder. But yes, we will be getting married in our own wedding venue. Some of you guys know that we have a barn right across from our house that we are renovating and opening basically a wedding venue business, but we'll be the first to get married in it. And it's super exciting. It's a lot of hard work, especially when we're dealing.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's been stressful because like I'm limping out to the barn and you know we're deciding on major things in the barn now. But I wanted to ask you, how do you think me having an ostomy or me having Crohn's, how do you think that's going to affect our future?
Ooh, affect our future.
I like throwing the I didn't prepare him.
And I always give bad answers. I guess I'm a little biased. I've been living with it as well. Not myself, obviously, but with Maggie for multiple years, and I am well acquainted with it now. To me, it's no different than just living with Maggie. Leroy is just another part of our day-to-day life.
Pretty much.
I mean, any complications just got me better versed with if we ever have to go to the hospital, just learning what to do, preparing for that. In the case of an emergency, like your bag fell off, we're honeymooning out west and driving in the car and it rips off, just find the nearest rest station. And
yeah, well, I'm pretty sure at this point you could probably change the bag. He has not yet, but I'm not forcing him to do that. Even like when I was on drugs in the hospital, I was changing it. I was like, nope, nobody touch it, it's me, it's mine. Do you think that having an ostomy will affect our wedding day? I guess it's probably more of a question for me, but do you think it'll...
We're very fortunate to have many stalls downstairs for the female restroom as well.
We're not at all, like, we're like so early on in this venue thing. But what I'm learning, and what I've learned from like the caterers and stuff that we've talked to...
Have plenty of bathrooms.
Well, that was my thing. I said, we only had 2 stalls for the females, and I said, no, put another one. So every time we have a caterer come visit, that's like the first thing that I advertise. I'm like, plenty of bathrooms. Like we're on top of that. But I think that's an important thing for people who are concerned on their wedding day, is that the venue and all of your vendors are totally like all about you. They want you to be happy. So they do a lot, maybe more than they should, to make you happy. But I think that's totally reasonable to say, you know, I have these special needs on this day. I need a restroom. I need a handicap accessible, which most places are gonna have, because I know we are.
We're gonna be.
And
Everything.
For my wedding dress, that was another concern that I kind of had, but then going into wedding dress shopping, I totally didn't have it all, because wedding dresses are so huge and so thick. There's so much fabric. I just can't see too many dresses showing your bag unless you're doing a really lightweight, like thin dress.
So this is a corset-back little A-line. Wow, that's the one I loved.
That's what you love?
I did love that one, yeah. Wow.
Have you tried the one on that was the first dress you tried on, the one that was right there?
I think so. It was right around that area. My dress is actually A-line, so it goes down to my waist, and so I have a not thin, but I have a tight piece of fabric around my belly, but it's covered in beads, and I don't think anybody's gonna know, and even if they saw it, well, I don't really keep it a secret anymore. Yeah, everybody knows. Everybody knows, so they'll know what it is. Any advice that you would give couples, like, or somebody with an ostomy, how could you give them advice for dating, or like getting to know somebody, moving in with them, getting more comfortable with their bag?
It's a default answer, but always education, learn, ask questions, just learn not necessarily how to work around it, but just how to integrate it into your life more or less. And it's not really going to be a hardship or burden, unless you're just not the person. That's
yeah. Once in a great while, wash the sheets in the middle of the night, which is like happened to us once.
Yeah.
My last bag leak, you were in DC, and thank God, because it was bad.
But yeah, just ask questions, learn about it, and just include it in your family.
Yeah.
Leroy, another family member.
Pretty much. I mean, I feel like everybody, whether or not they have a bag or whatever, maybe they have nothing medically wrong with them.
Everyone has something.
Everybody has something that they're embarrassed about with themselves. When you're in a relationship where you're very open with each other, they're going to find it out anyway. So you have to be comfortable with that yourself.
It shouldn't be a factor. Like, if you love the person, it's a factor that you'll easily be able to live with and deal with. It's even if you think it's a burden, then you don't love the person enough if you can't.
Yeah, like you're super gross. I'm still with them. It's hard.
Another question we often get asked, which is going to be Maggie to answer this one, I would think best knows, but often we get asked if we're able to have kids, or Maggie's able to have a child herself and
Pop one out.
So
as far as I know, I'm okay. There's chance for infertility with the surgery I just had and past surgeries I've had, just because of scar tissue. But as far as I know, there's nothing that's going to block us from doing that. If, you know, I've said it before in videos, I kind of have the philosophy, if it's meant to be, it'll be. If not, there are absolutely other ways to go about. I'm very interested in adoption, so yeah. But with an ostomy, it's absolutely possible. I know many a person with an ostomy who's been pregnant and had a vaginal delivery. So yeah, it is definitely possible.
So I'm sure there's many more questions that you guys are thinking of that we haven't thought of yet, or if you're just interested, you can definitely reach out to us and direct Maggie directly or in the comments, and we'll get back to you with anything you may have as well.
And I think this was fun for our New Year's Eve and our anniversary, and we can look back
7
10
years.
years from now, because January 30th is 10 years of doing videos on YouTube, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Since we might not have answered all the questions, as Zach said,
Sure.
we are hoping to do another live stream sometime in the middle of January. So if you want to follow on Instagram or Facebook, I will announce it there most likely. I'll also announce it on the community tab thingy on YouTube, whatever it's called. But yeah, we can definitely do a live stream about relationships and dating and marrying, which we don't
Anything
have
you
any
may wanna know.
experience with yet, but we will next fall. Hopefully.
Definitely.
Unless I get cold feet. Alright guys, well, it was great seeing you again through the camera lens.
Yeah.
And we will see you in the next.
In the new year.
Bye.
Nope.
Happy New Year.